For July, B2, oh, both it's completed. For August batch, it will start soon as all of your programming classes and your Java classes gets over. So, now what exactly is advanced Java is something we need to understand before no need to understand, at least we need to know what exactly is advanced Java and what we are going to learn out of it. So those who have kept all your books open, please close your books. There is nothing I am going to teach in today's class. So there are certain things. I know many have come to the class today. It's very good to see this, because I can guarantee you next Monday when you look around, half of the strength will be here. This is not something very specific to your batch. This is something which is specific to all the batches. Not just in TAP Academy, anywhere you go, same story. But the question is, will you be the one who will be attending one day and bunking, 1 week and bunking, 1 month and bunking, or the one who will stay till the last day? Last day. Okay. I mean, you don't have to stay till last day. You should get placed in between and you need to go. That's the agenda over here. So, but if you are not placed and if you are still getting rejected, or still if you are trying, then you need to stay till the last day so that you would have acquired a lot of skills. So, there are certain prerequisites to attend these classes. I know when Rohit sir took your classes on day 1, he clearly told there is no prerequisites at all. But today I am going to say, to attend my classes there is prerequisites. Now what are the prerequisites to attend my classes? I am not asking you go and learn algebra and come, go and learn calculus and come. I am just asking you whatever has been taught to you in TAP Academy. You should have attended those classes, learned those concepts, executed those programs, and that is the prerequisite. If you have attended all the classes, but you have executed only 50% of the things, then you will understand only 50% of the things. If you have executed 100% of the things, you will understand 100%. When I say executed, I do not speak only with respect to Java. I speak with respect to Java plus SQL plus programming put together. Is that clear to you? So if you have not done it, pull up your socks and start doing it from today at least. Is that clear to you? Now, till now, in so many days, you have studied core Java. So many concepts you studied. At the same time, parallelly, you are also studying something called as SQL. I hope everyone knows what is the usage of SQL. What is the usage of SQL? To store data. That's all. So you cannot manipulate that data? You can manipulate. Can you not retrieve that data? Or you can retrieve that as well. Great. Then? You can what? Update. That's what manipulate. So you can update that data as well in your terminologies. So these are all something which you have learnt when it comes to MySQL or SQL or what is the database technology that you have learnt. What is the use of Java then? Oh, so many Java classes. What is the use of Java? God knows. Sorry? To write applications. Great. Which kind of applications? General purpose apps. Okay. Any other answers? To develop mobile applications. Great. To develop desktop applications. Great. How many mobile applications and desktop applications have you developed till today? 2 months you learned Java. Console based application. See, this is the answer. Oh, that's a correct answer. That's what I was appreciating. So, because every day you wrote some programs. Where did you execute those programs? Console. So, console based application you have successfully deployed. But the thing is, as of now, you are using so many different type of applications. Correct or not? For example, you want to order food. There is an application, Swiggy, Zomato. Can you build that application with Java? You can. But Java alone is not sufficient. For example, you want some medicine. There is some application. What is the name? I don't know. So many applications are there. I don't use them. So there is some application like Practo or something. Huh? So you know who are the patients in the class. So there is some application. For example, what Rapido you want? For example, you want to go from one place to another place. Rapido is there, Uber is there, Ola is there. Can you build with the help of Java? Can, but Java alone will not help you. Is that clear to you? For example, you want to order a mobile, you want to order a laptop, you want to order anything. You have applications like Amazon, you have applications like Flipkart, you have applications like Myntra. Now for all of these applications, can you build only with the help of Java? No. Along with Java, you need some other technologies as well. So as of now, what you have done is, you have learned Java separately, SQL separately. Now and HTML and CSS also separately. Now it's time for us to combine all of them together and write all the code together. So I know, till today, whenever you wrote any program, first time when you wrote Java program, only one class was there. Second time, 2 classes. Then 4 classes. Now onwards, it will not be like that. You will have one Java file, you will have one SQL file, you will have one HTML file, you will have one CSS file. That's how it's going to be. Along with all of this, there will be some extra files as well. Along with that, you need to install some extra things from the internet as well. And then you need to execute. I am not saying this to scare you. I am just saying this. This is how the IT industry works. Say if you want to be ready for this particular thing, you have to do it. Because when you were learning only Java, you had to focus on only one file. But now you need to focus on 4 to 5 files. When you need to focus on 4 to 5 files and writing different kinds of program in different kinds of files, then you need to practice. Without practicing, there is no way. There is one way. That way is attend 1 week, bunk after that. That's the other way. So it is up to you which one you want to pick. Which one you want to pick? Bunk. Great. Awesome. Sorry? Practice. If I actually see same number of people practicing, there is no other person more happier than me in this planet. But I am already disappointed that I know that I will be disappointed. So anyways, let's continue with this particular thing. So let's see some simple examples and then we will move on. So I will take you to Chrome. So as of now we are inside this browser. I want to order some food. So what I can do, I can go to, which one do you like, Swiggy or Zomato? Zomato. But owner. So you can go to Zomato. So where do you stay? Indranagar, Marthalli, Whitefield, Koramangala? Marthalli. Oh my God. BTM. That's where I live. Now over here, once you come over here, you can clearly see there are so many options. Now who is the one? I know you would have studied all this in your first Java class. Which technology is used to display all these things? It's not just HTML. Just HTML means you will have biryani one place, below that pizza, below that. That's how you will have it. All this coloring and all will not be there. So you have HTML, CSS, and along with that some bootstrap also will be there, some JavaScript also will be there. Now what do you want? Pizza or biryani or burger? I thought I will order for you guys. Sorry, medium size you want? So free means see how many of them are ready. So I clicked on pizza. You can see there are so many pizza. What is this? These are pizzas or the restaurant names? Oh, these are restaurant names. Okay. So where do you want to order from? Domino's gives the worst pizza. Still you want Domino's. Poor people actually go to Domino's. So, Domino's will give you the pizza. Domino's pizza. Open. Now you can see there are so many options that you have over here. Now, each of these things that you see over here, now if you observe one thing, if you observe one pizza over here, one image you have, then you have some double cheese margherita pizza, some name is given, some rating is given, some oats is given, some price is given, and a description is given. Is that clear to you? The same thing has been followed over here. Name, rating, then what? Oats, yeah, what is this? Price, then you have display. Now the format all of this is displayed is used with the help of HTML and CSS. Some div tag, that, this and all they would have used, some class and all they would have used and created this. But all of this data, it will not be the same every day that you come and see over here. Every day it will keep changing. And for every pizza that has been displayed over here, everything has one image, it has some name, it has some rating, it has some oats, it has some price, it has some description. Now each of this data is not just over there for this restaurant, it is there for all the restaurants. And in each and every restaurant, for every item, the same details are there. So it is not just one small piece of data, there is a huge amount of data that is there. Now say me, whenever this data is present, where do you think this data is available? It is available in the database. Now, whenever you say database, what exactly do you mean by database? It's a storage. Say me, whenever you say that storage, is that a permanent storage or it's a temporary storage? It's a permanent storage. Is that clear to you? So all of this data is actually stored inside the database. So what I will do is, let's go back now. So whatever data that I showed, not just in this particular Zomato application, any application that you take, in each of the application there will be data. Well, if you take Zomato, there will be so many restaurant details, there will be so many food item details, there will be so many customer details, all of these things will be stored. Similarly, if you take an application like maybe Amazon, then every product details will be available and every customer detail will be available, every seller detail will be available. Similarly, if you go to Instagram, so many customer data is available, so many ads data is available. Like this, any application you go, the main thing over here or the most important thing over here is data. Now, so where do you store the data if you ask me? You always store the data inside a hard disk because you need to permanently store that particular data. But when you store in a hard disk, there are multiple options to store that particular data. What are the multiple options is, inside a hard disk, can you create a file or not? Yes. Normally you can create one text file, or if you want you can create one CSV file, or if you want you can create one Excel file and you can store the data inside. And whenever you do that particular thing, the normal operations that you perform means you will create the data. That's the first thing. Means whenever you create a file, that is the first thing you will do. After that you will add some data into that. That is also the part of creating that particular data. Apart from that, what will you do? You will actually fetch the data from there. That is another operation that you can perform. Apart from that, what all can you do? Let's assume that some data you want to modify. So you can update that particular data. And one more thing is, if you do not want that data, you can also delete that data. The same operation happens in every application as well. For example, if you take Instagram, what do you do over there? First, when you go to Instagram, you create your profile. Yes or no? That is nothing but creating the data. Or if you are making any post, what do? You actually add that from your phone, you will upload into Instagram. When you upload into Instagram, that is stored inside the Instagram's hard disk. That is what you do. You will give some description for that particular thing. You gave the description. Now for example, some of your friends want to see your picture. What will they do? They will come to your profile and then they will start viewing that. So basically what's happening is, that is whatever data that they are seeing, they are not seeing from your phone. Where are they seeing from? It is there in Instagram's database, or it is there in Instagram's hard disk. So they retrieve from Instagram's hard disk, or they read from Instagram's hard disk, and they read that data. Now for example, you did not like the caption which you entered in that post. So what will you do is, you will go and change, you will edit that particular thing. What are you doing over there? You are updating that particular data. That is what you do. After some days, someone will put some bad comments in your picture. You will be like, oh, I want to take this down. So you will go and delete that particular thing. When you delete that from Instagram's database, it will be deleted. Or from Instagram's, what is that, hard disk, it will be permanently deleted. After that, even if you want to see, or if your friend wants to see, you cannot see that data. Is that clear to you? That is what is your delete operation. Now any application you take, or any database that you take, or any data you take, these are the only 4 operations that you will do on data. There is no other operations apart from these 4 operations. So if you learn how to perform these 4 operations, you will be capable of building any applications. If you learn these 4 operations, it is all about how much or how creative can you think. The more creative you think, the better application you can create. Is that clear to you? And these 4 is only called as this particular create, read, update, delete. This is what you call as CRUD operations. And at the same time, one more thing that you need to understand is, if you are doing all these operations inside a file or inside a folder, it will not work properly. Why, if you ask me? All this data, if you want, you can store it inside a file. For example, your caption, you can store it inside a file. You can also read from that file. You can update in that file, and you can also delete from that file. And the problem over here is, when you store some hundreds and hundreds of data over there, you cannot filter out those data. That is the problem. You cannot update properly. That is the problem. So whenever you want to perform any operations on that particular file, it is very difficult. So using file is not a good option. Then what should I make use of? That's when the concept of this particular table format comes into picture, where, for example, if you are actually creating a table, that particular thing has ID, name, email, and some phone number. So you can create separate columns. ID is one column, name is one column, email is one column, phone number is one column. And what you can do is, if you want to insert anyone's data, that will become one row. So like that, you can insert multiple rows. This is one row, this is another row, this is another row, and goes on like that. So for every user, one row can be created over here. If you store it in this format, it becomes easy for you to read that data, manipulate that data, update that data, and also delete this particular data. So creating that is what you call as C, that is where you actually create all of this particular data. For example, you want to fetch some data out of it. Then what will you do? You will read that. So you can fetch any one data from this particular thing. If you want multiple data, you can fetch multiple data as well. If you want to update, let's assume this is what I want to fetch, I will fetch this. I want to update as well. So I can update it like this. So later on, maybe let's assume that I want to delete that particular data. So I can also delete a certain row, or I can also delete multiple rows over here. Is that clear to you? So this is what usually happens in every database that you create. And this way of creating is actually very good, and this is why you have studied some technology. What is the technology that you have studied? MySQL. Now it's not necessary that you should study MySQL. There are so many options. So what all options do you have is what we will see. Now whatever that data that you have, this is actually stored inside a database, and if you want to handle that particular data, you cannot handle with the help of Java. You always need a software called as RDBMS. What is the full form of this? Great. Mugged up very well. So, a relational database management system, that is the technology which is actually used to manipulate all of this data, because Java cannot handle these kind of data. Is that clear to you? Now, what happens is, when it comes to RDBMS, there are so many softwares of RDBMS. You would have heard different software names. For example, let's see one by one what are the softwares that is available. So, MySQL is one software that we have. Apart from that, we have IBM DB2. DB2 is actually a software of IBM. So that's also the similar to MySQL itself. Then you have Oracle, then, sorry? In interface classes you would have seen so many names. Yes. So those are all the different things that you have over here. Now you can pick any RDBMS software that you want to handle this particular thing. Is that clear to you? So now, till now whatever we have been writing, or till now whatever code we have been writing, we used to write with the help of Java. Now why Java is required in between this, if you ask me, there is a specific reason. Let's assume that some user want to actually go and delete some data. So when he wants to delete that data, do you think the database administrator will come and sit and write the query over there? No. It should automatically execute. Correct or not? Similarly, someone wants to upload something. Do you think when you want to upload one photo in Instagram, one developer in Instagram will come and write one SQL query to upload? Does it do that? No. Now if that should not happen, then there should be some automatic way of executing all of these things. Now how exactly that happens? That's when a technology like Java will come into picture. Means whenever you click on a button, some operation should happen. And who will trigger those operations? Something like Java will trigger those operations. But the question over here is, can Java handle those particular database? No. Java cannot handle this particular database. Who can handle this particular kind of data? If you ask, only RDBMS softwares can handle this particular data. Now the thing is, Java should actually interact with the RDBMS software if that has to happen. But if you observe the nature of code that you write in Java and the nature of code that you write in RDBMS, is it the same kind of code you write in both the places or different kinds of code? Different. When it comes to RDBMS, you write like select statements, or create statement, update statement. This is how you write. But when it comes to these particular things, Java, you create some classes, some methods. This is how create objects. That's how you do it. And whenever you are representing one customer, you will actually create one object of customer. Whenever you are representing a customer over here, what do? You create a row of that customer. Both are completely different. So, if you ask me, is it possible for Java to interact with RDBMS? It is impossible for Java to interact with RDBMS. Then the question is, how do we achieve this? If you need to achieve this particular thing, obviously you need to get one person in between who can actually interact with Java as well as SQL. Is that clear to you? So direct communication between Java and RDBMS is impossible. That's why you need to get another software in between. And that particular software is what we call as the driver software. And what is the job of this particular driver software, if you ask? This driver software will actually help you to convert the Java code into this RDBMS code or into this particular MySQL queries. And the driver will actually connect into the RDBMS and the connection can be made over. Similarly, if there is any query, if you want to convert back to Java, that conversion also can be taken care by the driver. So what is that we are going to learn in this advanced Java classes, if you ask me? There are so many things that we are going to learn. But the first thing that we are going to learn is, we have already studied MySQL, we have already studied Java. All we need to do is how to connect MySQL with Java. That is what we are going to learn in these classes. So we have Java over here, we have database over here, and the interaction can clearly happen over here. So right now we are connecting this particular Java with this particular database. So whatever that we are going to study over here, it's nothing but Java and database connectivity, or in short we call it as JDBC. That is nothing but Java database connectivity. Is that clear to you? So this is the first concept that we are going to learn when it comes to what? Advanced Java. After this, there is J2EE. Within that, there is servlets, JSP, JSTL, all of these things. Then frameworks will come into picture. In frameworks, you will be learning Springs, then you will be learning Hibernate. So these are all the things that you are going to learn. So one thing I will say very clearly. Till now, you have attended so many classes in TAP Academy. Approximately 2 to 2.5 months of classes you would have attended. Some of them might have attended even more classes. But the thing is, after attending all these classes, how many technologies have you added to your resume? How many? Some of you have added 4, some of you have added 2. That is the thing. But here onwards, every week you will be adding one technology to your resume. That's how it's going to be. Is that clear to you? It doesn't mean I'm going fast. It means to say how you add multi-threading when it comes to Java, how you add polymorphism in Java or OOPs in Java. That's how JDBC is. It's just one single concept. But the thing is, the concept is not as easy as core Java. That's all it is. So I actually feel that concept is easier than core Java. But students say it's not easy. So you can decide whether it is easy or not easy. Is that clear to you? Have you decided anything? That is what I want. Don't decide now. Attend all the classes, then you decide. But what is most difficult over here? Is it writing the code which is more difficult? If you ask me, no. The most difficult part is opening the laptop and typing the code. Because whenever you see me coding, you will see so many lines I would have coded. After seeing that lines, you will feel, should I really write that code? So, please make sure that first day you might feel that is very complex code. But one day if you type, you go and speak with anyone who have attended advanced Java and core Java properly and ask them how is JDBC. They will say that is one of the most easiest concept in the whole course. You have doubt, you go and ask such people who attended the classes. Don't ask who bunked one class. Is that clear to you? So the thing is, we need to study this JDBC. You know how to execute Java programs. Do you know or not? Yes. Do you need to install anything to execute Java programs? What? Eclipse sufficient? JDK and all is not necessary? JDK also. Do you know, in our case, we are not using all of it. What we are using is MySQL. Do you know how to execute MySQL queries? Okay. How do you execute? You can execute either in command prompt or you can use some UI tools as well if you want it. Any tools you know? WordPress? Workbench. Okay, great. So there are tools like Workbench also which can help you do this particular thing. Now, there is one more thing that I mentioned. Driver. Without this driver, you cannot write any JDBC program. Because driver is the one who is actually helping you to connect Java with database. Now the question is, from where can I get the driver? So if you remember interface classes, do you remember interface classes? At the starting of interfaces, one story was told to you. Do you remember that story? I will complete that story today. So, what do you remember in that story? God knows, some database, something was told. So, okay. You don't have to revise that story. You can ignore that story. I will not complete that story. That is a suspense till the last class. So, you wait. What and all. 4 years you have waited for this. So, what is that is? Whatever Java programs that you have written and SQL queries that you have written, you need to understand who is more popular. Java is a backend technology and SQL is nothing but database or RDBMS technology. Now, in the IT industry, when it comes to backend technologies and when it comes to RDBMS, who is more, dominating if you ask me? The people who sell this are more dominant. Say me one thing. You want job. Do you want to become Java developer? Yes. If I ask you what you want to become, you will say backend developer, that developer, this developer, full stack developer, and you will say Java developer also. Did anyone over here say, I want to become SQL developer? That is the reality. The thing is, when it comes to this particular technology, majority of these particular things are almost the same type. If you know this, one day if you take extra, you will learn this. One more day if you take, you will learn this also. That's all. One day also you don't want. If you are smart enough, 1 hour is sufficient. Because all of them are almost the same thing. Small syntax in some program, some corners there will be some difference. Now, what happens is in IT industry, these back-end technologies are quite dominating, and obviously any developer who is using the back-end technology, they will have to connect to the database. Some or the other time they will have to connect to the database. Now when they have to connect to the database, all these database vendors, means MySQL, there is one guy who is selling MySQL. Similarly, there is one person who is selling this DB2, like IBM. There is another person who is selling this Oracle. Both of them are sold by Oracle itself as of now. So there are people who are selling these particular technologies. Now the ones who are selling these technologies, what is that they want to do is, they want to acquire all the Java developers to use their technology. Means they want all Java developers to use MySQL. Not just that, they also want Python developers to use that. They also want JavaScript developers to use that. They also want C# developers to use that. Because each one of them will have to connect to the database, correct or not? So if they have to connect to the database, they need some RDBMS software. And all of them want their technology. So since they want their technology, what do is, they will create this driver software. Means Java people will not create the driver software. If they become popular, many people will be writing code in that. So if they want to acquire all of them, these people will create this software. So if you go to any one of their websites, in each of their websites, you will see driver softwares. So as of now, which technology are we studying over here? MySQL. So if you want the driver software, you need to go to MySQL's official website. In MySQL's official website, you will see this particular software. You need to download this software and you need to install this software in your system. And only after installing this, you will be able to write the JDBC programs. Now first let's see how can we download and how can we install. Is that clear to you? And after that we will start writing JDBC programs. Is that clear? Let's start. So first thing that I need to do is I need to go to Chrome for that particular thing. But this time not to order food. This time we need to install the driver software. So if you want to install the driver software, you can come over here, you can say MySQL driver. You can simply say MySQL driver, or you can also write, if not like this, you can say MySQL connector. If you say MySQL connector, it will be easy for Google to search and give it to you. So you can say MySQL connector and you can just press enter. If you press enter, you can see the first website that you see over here. I have to zoom that for you. You can see https www.mysql.com. So is it MySQL's official website? If you go over here, you will find the connectors. So what I will do is, I will just click on this. Connectors, drivers, both are same. So I will click on that. You will come over here. Let me reduce the size. Now if you see over here, it says developed by whom? MySQL. And if you observe, there are so many things given over here. Now, whatever that is available over here, you are not supposed to download all of these things. You are just supposed to download such a, connector which is compatible with Java. Now, which one is compatible with Java? They would have written somewhere over here. Do you see connector/J? Or they have also written JDBC driver for MySQL. So this is what you want to download if you are a Java developer. In case if you are a Python developer, then you can see one option given over here. So if you are writing code in Python as backend technology, you can download this one. If you are a C++ developer, you need to download this one. So MySQL will connect with C++, it will connect with Python, it will connect with Node.js, it will connect with Java, it will connect with ODBC, and you can also do it for .NET as well. Anything you can do over here. So what is that we need over here is for Java. So let's go to Java and I'll click on download. It will not download. Over here, I don't know whether people sitting in the last bench are able to see or not, but over here it's giving an option, select operating system. So whichever operating system that you are using, you need to select that particular operating system. So it will give such a connector which is compatible for your operating system. So if I go and click on that drop down, you can see there are multiple options over here. Which operating system do you use? Sorry? Sorry? Oh, not visible. Okay. Now is it visible? Yes. Now which one do you use? Where is Windows? Useless software you use, that's why. So if there is Windows, you can download for Windows, but the best option that you can use is, there is one option called as platform independent. Are you able to see platform independent? I hope everyone knows what platform independent means. What does it mean? It can be used in any platform. That's the one I will download. So you can use in Linux, you can use in Mac, you can use in Windows, any OS you build your own, that also you can use it. So what I will do is, I will click on that particular thing, and you can see there are two options that is given to you. You can use any option that you like. I will use that zip one. So what I will do is, I will click on download. I clicked on download. It says login or sign up. So, but in one corner they would have given no thanks, just start my download. You can click on that. Now, if you want to actually donate some money for poor people, then you can. Not poor people, smart people, you can. So I will click on no thanks, just download, and you can see over here, my internet is very fast, so it got downloaded. In your case, it will be saying downloading, downloading, downloading. So it has downloaded. Now all you need to do is my job done? If you ask, no. There are some more things you need to do. Let's go and open that folder. This is that folder. I will just copy from here as of now. I will take you to some other folder from here. Which drive do you like the most? C drive. Okay. Then I will take you to D drive. Over here I have created something called as something is there, you ignore that, or I will delete that as well. Don't worry. It is empty. I will paste whatever I downloaded. This is what I downloaded, I pasted it over here. So those who are attending online, you may not be able to see properly. That is not my problem. That is lighting problem. So now what is that you need to do is right click on this, and there will be an option to extract files. So or you can say extract here. I hope everyone knows how to extract in Windows. You just click. If you have a software to extract, it will extract that particular thing. I have extracted, one folder is created. You need to open this folder. Within this folder you see so many files. Let me just enlarge those files for you. So these are all those different files. Now all of these are useless files for us as of now. There is only one useful file, that is this MySQL connector. Are you able to see this? This is the useful file for us. So you need to click on this file. This file, you need to put it inside your code. Only then you will be able to write JDBC programs. Now how do I put that? There is some step-by-step procedure. My question is, how to download, extract, is that clear to everyone? Yes. So first let's go to Eclipse. I have taken you to Eclipse. I will just show you the package explorer. Some people will say, sir, I am not able to get left side and all. If you are not able to get left side, over here there is one search button. Those who don't know how to use Eclipse. Search button means one pop-up will come. Here you need to search. What is that you need to search for that? If you ask me, you need to say package, P-A-C-K-A-G-E. You can see one first option as package explorer. Click on that, it will appear. Is that clear to you? Now over here I have created a lot of things. I will do something else. Fine. So over here, there is one folder. I mean, these are all different projects. So you can ignore all the projects. One project we are interested. What is that? It says advanced Java. I don't know where it is created exactly. So we will start by creating a new project. We will ignore that particular thing. So I hope we'll top. Which batch are you from? Okay. Do you know how to create project? Or should I show how to create project? You know how to create? Show. Okay. Fine. Let me delete this particular project. Those who don't know how to delete, observe carefully. I deleted. You can count and check, one will be less. Okay, welcome. So, if you want to create a project, there are multiple ways to create a project. One way is you can go to that file which is seen on the top left corner. Please don't say that size is very less. I am also not able to see that. That is the size I can show over here. So, over here on the top left corner, first option will be file. If you click there, there will be one option. First option in that will be new. If you click on that new, let me click on that new. I will give you something called, first option is Java. In your laptop it might be some other option, but you can click on that. If I click on that, automatically this pop-up will come. This is one way of doing it. One more way is, you can use a shortcut called as Control N. You will get something like this. What you want to create? Java project. You either type Java or you type project. That search option will show you over there. I will say Java. You can see first option is showing us Java project. So I will click on that Java project and you can see the same thing came over here. One name you need to give. I will give the name as Advanced Java. I think there are so many advanced Java, so I will say AUG. July batch students will feel bad, so I'll put their name first. After that, I will click on next and I will click on finish. And if I open this particular thing, you can clearly see there is, I don't know whether you have observed these things in Eclipse or not. There will be something called as JRE system library. Now what is that if you ask me? You know, whenever you write any program, you will say system.out.print. System class did you create? Whenever you write program, you will say scanner. Did you create scanner class? No. Now all of this code has to be available somewhere. Now where is that available if you ask me? Inside that JRE system library, that will be there. If you want, you can also open that and check it out. So I'll just open and show it to you. You can see there are so many things inside that particular thing. Oh, there are so many options. You can search it. I will not deviate now. So let's get back. So I need to create a JDBC program. Where will I create? I will come inside source. So let me come inside source. I will click on source. I will say Control N. I will directly not create the class. First thing what I will do is I will create a package. So how do I create a package? Is by saying package, if I say, it is saying, giving an option called as Java package. I will click on this, I will click on next, and over here you can give any name for your package. But the best way to give the package names are, whenever you go and work in some companies, when you're working in a company, either you will be building software for the same company, or you will be building software for some other company who is giving the money for your company. That's how the situation is. So let's assume that you are building software for Tap Academy. So Tap Academy's website is www.tap.com. I mean, if you search, you will not find that, but I am saying tap.com. If that is the website name, then whenever you create package, you will write in the reverse order of this website. So www.tap.com, whatever you have, rather you will say com.tap. Then if you are working in a specific team, you will give the team name as well. Again, if you want any more specifics, you can give those specifics, but we will stop at com.tap. So what I will do is, I will say com.tap. Is that clear to you? We will improvise this as we proceed with other classes. So I will play, after that one more option will be there. Create package info. Do not create. If there is checkbox, uncheck that. And after that you can start writing the code. So first of all I will click on finish. Now inside this package you need to start writing the program. So first I will say Control N and I will create one class. I will click on next. I will say the program name as program 1. I will click on public static void main. I will click on finish. So if there was anyone wondering how come this came, this is nothing but this class is present inside this package. Like how your scanner is present inside java.util package, your program 1 class is present inside com.tap package. Is that clear to you? Now what I want to do is, I want to write JDBC program, but before writing JDBC program, first let me write hello world program. So I will say, welcome to advanced Java. If it executes, it means advanced Java is easy. Executed, great. I hope everyone understood how to create project, how to create package, how to create class, and how to write hello world program. Great. If you have not studied this, I hope you studied now. Now if you want to write JDBC program, the first thing that you need to do is that connector, whatever you downloaded, you extracted, you got one file, correct or not? That file you need to put inside your Java project over here. So this is your Java project you need to put. Now where do I put that if you ask me? You need to put that inside your project. Directly can I copy paste inside the project? No. Inside that project you need to create one new folder. Do you know how to create folder? If you don't know how to create folder, I will show it to you how to create folder. So what is that you need to do is, you need to say Control N and after that you need to say folder. You see there is one option called as general folder. Two options you have, one is Java and the other one is general. Since you are writing Java program, don't think Java folder, you need to create general type of folder. So what I will do is I will create this folder. I will click on next. It is asking me for a file name. You can't randomly give any name that you like. You need to specifically give one name. What name is that I am giving over here if you ask me? I will give the name as lib. L-I-B. Lib means library, short form for library. So I would say you should always give it as lib itself, not as library, not as something else. If you go anywhere and if you create in any other technology as well, you will still give it as lib. Maybe in some technologies they will say library. Over there you can write library, but majority of the places you need to write it as lib. After that I will click on finish. Folder is created. If you can see over here, one extra folder got created. Is that clear? Now that jar file or that connector, whatever we have extracted, you need to paste it over here. Which is that connector? This one. I will right click on this, I will say copy. I copied that particular thing. Let's go back. Over here inside lib, you can see there is no arrow mark or anything for that lib. As soon as I paste, how do I paste? Right click. Where is paste? Paste. If I paste, if you open the arrow mark, are you able to see that connector? Yes. It's not necessary you should always right click and copy. Just to show I am copying and pasting, I did that. You can use Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Some people will follow the video and they will follow that. That's why I'm explicitly mentioning these things. If I do this much, is it sufficient for the JDBC program? No. Because this is just a normal jar file. You need to, whatever programs are there, you are still not able to use that program. How do I use that program? There is one last extra step that you need to do. That is very most important step. Many of them will skip this. So observe carefully. You need to click on your project, then right click. If you right click, one window comes like this. If you see the last option of that windows, it says properties. If you click on those properties, one window like this would open. In this window, if you see the fourth option is Java build path. Is that clear to you? So those who are not able to see it, please open your laptops and watch the recordings, and whenever I am saying fourth option, you go and see the fourth option. Whatever I am saying, exact same thing will be there. So you see Java build path. In Java build path, you will see source, you will see projects, you will see libraries, and there is some order and export and model dependency. Exactly at center you will have libraries, that is your third option. In that third option you will see model path and you will also see class path. You need to go and select the class path. So what I will do is I will click on this class path. But even before that, clicking on that class path, you can see there are some options that you see over here. Is it enabled or disabled? Disabled. If I click that, you will see something got enabled. In that, what is that you need to pick is add jar. Are you able to see one option called as add jar? That's the first option. I will click on that particular add jar. If you click on add jar, one window like this will open. Now what jar file you need to add is whatever is there in your lib folder, that is what you need to add. So where is this lib folder? It is present inside Advanced Java July-August. That's where it is present. So you need to search where is that available. Are you able to see that? Third option. I will open that. If you open that, there is options like settings, bin, lib. Inside lib it is present. If I click on lib, are you able to see that MySQL connector? Select that and click on OK. So if I select that and if I click on OK, you can see it has come inside this particular class path. After this is done, you need to click on apply. You can either click on apply or you can click on apply and close. Difference is very simple. If you click on apply, it will be added and this window will still be there. You need to click here and close this. If you click on apply and close, it will apply and it will close this window. That's all is the difference. Is that clear to you? So I will click on apply and I will click on close. But before I close this itself, you can see some changes has happened over there. I don't know whether you are able to see the changes, but if you observe, did you see anything called as reference libraries earlier? When? It was not there. All you had was yes systems. So all that. So simply with confidence, if I ask anything, you'll say yes sir. So over here JRE system library was there. That's why I asked you at starting. Apart from that, there was source. Apart from that, we created one thing called as lib. Reference library was never there. Now it has come. If you open that reference libraries, I will close this lib and all. I will open this reference library. Inside that you will see MySQL connector 8 point some jar. I will open that. If you open, there are so many things. If you observe this com.mysql.cj, like that so many things are there. I cannot see from near. So from far I can see a little bit. From even far you will not be able to see it. So first 2-3 benches may be able to see that thing. So We are not interested what is there in that. But one thing that we need to understand over here is, among all of these things, there is one file which is important, or there is one class which is important. What is that class, if you ask me? It's like a main class. Whenever you write any program, don't you think your execution always starts from main? Yes. Same way, there is one class over here which is very important. Where is that class available? If you go over here, it will be present inside this com.mysql.cj.jdbc. Inside this, if I open, this is what package, like how you have java.util. Same way you have com.mysql.cj.jdbc. If I open that particular thing, let me just click and open that particular thing. You can see there are so many classes available in this. And there is one class over here which says driver class. Is that clear to you? This is what I stored in the diagram to you at starting. One driver. Did I show you? That is this one. Is that clear to you? And that is the most important class that we need to write our JDBC programs. Is that clear to you? Can we write JDBC program? Oh. So let's start. Okay. Can we start? Now before we start, as I mentioned, JDBC programs are all about connecting to the database. So till today, what you have done is, you wrote Java programs separately, you wrote SQL programs separately. Today we are going to combine both of them and write together. Is that clear to you? So inside Java itself you will write SQL queries. That's what we are going to do. But I will not write all the SQL queries. I am not interested in writing all SQL queries because I am not a SQL developer. Then what will I do? I will show you one tool where it on its own will write the SQL queries. Is that clear? You also don't have to write. So will you use that tool or not? No. You will type SQL queries. Why do you think Blessina ma'am came to class and she explained all those things? So that you sit and type SQL queries. She didn't teach me. That's why I will not. So, next batch, okay, I will attend. So, what is that tool if you ask? That tool is what we call as MySQL Workbench. I hope in many of your systems it's already downloaded. Over here you will see one option like this. In this there are certain things which will be written. One is root and the other thing is localhost colon 3306 is the number which is written in mine. In yours also 3306 will be written in majority of your cases. In some of your cases some other number will be written. Note that number and keep it because it's very important. What do they mean if you ask me? Root is nothing but your username. Whatever you see localhost, that is nothing but your IP address. And 3306 is something called as port number. What is all these things I will let you know. But first let me open this. So how do I open this is, double click on this. In some of your laptops single click also will work. You can see username is there. In some of your laptop it will not pop up this window, directly it will open. So don't be scared if it directly opens. You can, what I will do is, you need to type the password. My password is root. I have typed that, I will press enter. It opens like this. Why I am saying all this explicitly is because I know some students will come. Every batch there will be some students, even after me saying, sir, in yours it was asking password, in mine no password. So don't worry, it is good. No, you don't have to type the password. Now, in some of your cases, it will say incorrect password. If it says incorrect password, that is your problem, not my problem. I am saying you today itself. So you see, you should have remembered the password. Who told you to give complex passwords? There is no forgot password option over here. There is only one option, uninstall everything. Not just uninstall. Whatever files are there in your system which is related to MySQL or MySQL Workbench or MySQL Server, each and every file has to be deleted from the backend in your system. In C drive, in program file, somewhere here and there, in some corners, all the files will be there. You need to delete it, and from start again you need to install. But simply if you uninstall and install, your problem will not be solved. Is that clear to you? How to do that? That is up to you. You can go to YouTube, search, I forgot my MySQL Workbench password, how to fix the error. You fix that. And if no other option is there, you can go to Blessina man. I will not take this problem. Now over here, some queries and all as written, I am not interested in those queries. First thing that we need to do is, whenever we are writing any queries, the first thing is, you need to create table or database? Database. Already some database is there. I am not interested in this database, let's create a new database. So what I will do is, one database is already there. I will say drop schema. Fine. So I am going to create a new database. Now, how do I create a new database if you ask me? Over here, you will be having two options. One is administration and the other one is schemas. By default, some of yours will be clicked over here. Then you will come and say, sir, my options are different, your options are different. So, if you want my options, you need to click on schemas. In this, if you want to create database, how do you create database? Some query is there. How do you create database? Database name. That is how you need to create. I have an option. If you see this particular thing, there are some icons in your language, emojis. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth option that you see over here, that is that database emoji. So what I will do is, I will click on that particular thing. It opens some window like this. It's saying name of the schema. I will give the name of the schema as JDBC classes. I have named it as JDBC classes. After that, if you see on this corner, there is apply. I will click on this particular apply. If I click on this apply, you can see some query has been written. The query says create schema and the name has been given. So how you set databases, you can also say schema and you can create it. After that, I will click on apply over here. So if I click on apply over here, automatically one schema will be created or one database will be created, and you can clearly see one database has been created. Inside this particular database, do you have anything? No, nothing is there. So if you want to do anything, you need to first create one table and you need to start. I will not create table as of now. Later on we will create the tables. So first I will go to Java. We will do some things and later on we will come back over. So as of now, what all I have done is, I have come to my MySQL, I have created one database. Now what is that I need to achieve over here is, I need to connect my Java program to my database. Is that clear to you? Now the question is, how do I connect my Java program to my database? So you need to write few things. What are those few things? First thing is, whenever you are writing one Java program into this particular database is actually running on the MySQL server. Means it considers it to be in a different system, not in the same system. So if it is in a different system, it can be that system, it can be your system. So the first thing you need over here is, you need the IP address of the system, because every system which is connected to internet will always have one unique number, and that unique number is what we call as IP address. If you get the IP address, it will connect to that particular system. After that, the next thing is, if I connect to that system, there are so many applications running in that system. Zoom is running, database is running, Java application is running, Chrome is running, so many applications are. In that, every application will have its own number, and every application which is running is also called as a process. So every process will have one number which is called as process identification number or process ID. Is that clear to you? In short, people also call as PID. Similarly, we call over here as port number. So every application will have a port number. Same way, your MySQL application also has a port number, and the port number of your My application is 3306. And what is that 3306, or where can I get that? Before I clicked, I told you to remember some number. You remember that? That localhost 3306. That 3306 is your port number. Now what is localhost, if you ask me? Rather than remembering your own IP address, you can mention that as localhost. Localhost means same system's IP address. Is that clear to you? So after you get this, you need two more details. What are the two more details? You got the URL, means you got to know where to connect. If you want to connect and if you want to access the data, there might be so many very important details which can be used efficiently, or which can be also used to hack and do something as well. Now this is the reason there will be some username and password given. So you should also know the username and password. My username is, what was the username over there? First line, root. What is the password I typed? Root. So username is root, password is root. So these are the things you need to know. One is the URL, other one is the username, other one is the password. If you know these three things, then you can connect to the database. Is that clear to you? So let's connect to the database. So, any JDBC program that you are going to write from today onwards, the first step would be to establish a connection to the database. To establish connection, there are certain details, and these are those details. So, and by the way, when you give those details, you need to write driver manager dot, and there is a method name called as get connection. For this particular get connection, you need to pass three parameters. What are the three parameters? First one is URL, the second one is username, and the third one is password. So these are the three details if you do. If you do this, it will create one object of connection, because in Java everything is object. So if connection is created, connection is also an object, and it will give you that particular object. I will store that inside a variable type called as con or whatever name you want to give, you give. But the type of that will be what? Connection. Is that clear to you? So now the thing is, simply can I write URL, or should I give my actual URL? Actual URL should be given. Let's identify how to give the URL. So whenever you say URL, in URL this is how the format would look like. Now I know when you see this format, you will be confused what exactly does that mean. So the first one says API, second one says vendor name, IP address I just told you what IP address is, port number also I told you, database name I hope you know what it means. Yes? So let's see one by one. So the API that we are using over here is JDBC. Is that clear to you? For example, when we went to that particular website, you saw JDBC, ODBC, then so many other options were there. So the API that we are using over here is JDBC. Which vendor are we using? MySQL. If it is Oracle, you will write Oracle. If it is DB2, you will write DB2. Whatever is the standard that they provide, that's what you need to write. So in MySQL, the standard says MySQL. So you'll write MySQL. Then IP address, same system. So what I will do? Localhost. Before that colon /localhost. Then what was the port number that I had? 3306. That's the port number. Slash the database name. Don't write DB-name. What is the database name that I had over here? JDBC classes. You remember I created one schema. That is the name that you need to give it. Is that clear to you? After that, what is the username? Root. What is the password? Root. So that's what we need to do. So anyways, let's go back and let's start writing the code for this. So I will open my Eclipse. So I will delete this particular line. So first thing that I need to do is I need to say, first of all I need to create one URL. So I hope you remember. URL. One more thing that I need is username. One more thing that I need is password. First thing is URL. What was the URL? API. What was that? JDBC. JDBC. Better mug up them properly because you need to remember them till the last day. Whether you mug up or whether you understand doesn't matter, but you should know that very well. JDBC. After that, colon. After that, sorry, MySQL. So I'll say MySQL. Next, colon. Slash. Next. Oh, this is wrong? Oh, I was just checking. MySQL. Next, what should I write? Localhost. Correct? Everything is in lowercase. Localhost. Next. Colon. Next. Port number. This can be same as 3306 or it can be different as well. Is that clear to you? Then after that, slash. Next. Database name. What is the database name? JDBC classes. Correct? What? Oh, class is what I have given. JDBC. C only I have written. C. Sorry? 2 C's were there. What is the problem? 2 C's were there. Correct? Classes. Okay. Correct? Are you sure? Okay. Username, what was it? Root. Password? This is easy. After you are done with all of these things, now you need to create the connection. So any JDBC program that you write, the first thing is always to create a connection. How do I create a connection? You need to say driver manager dot, and after that you need to call a method called as get connection. You need to pass 3 details: URL, username, password. That's what I am passing. URL, username, password. Is this clear to you? This will give you an object. The object will be of type connection. So what I will do is I will store that particular object, and that is that particular connection object. You can clearly see it is already giving you an error. Any idea what is the reason? Sorry? Import what? Sorry? Driver manager, okay. You can already see java.sql.driver-manager is imported, connection is also imported. What you want to import? URL you want to import? Okay. Before I continue, I want to understand once again. All of your core Java is over, or some of your core Java is still going on, right? Huh? For some it's fully over. For some it's still going on. Which concept? Multi-threading. Okay. Fine. Now what exactly is the problem in this line if you ask me? Driver manager dot get connection, when you say, the control will actually not stay within the Java program, it will go out of the Java program because it's going to create a connection to what? Database. Is that clear to you? So whenever it goes and tries to create a connection to the database, it will go and search in this URL. Let's assume that the database is not there. If database is not there, then is there a problem or not? Yes, there is a problem over here. What is the problem? What is the problem? Database not found. That is the problem. Is that clear to you? So, in this case, it will throw some exception. And this particular exception, whatever it throws, it has to be compulsorily handled because it is a checked exception. I hope in exception handling you have already studied what is checked exception, what is unchecked exception. Have you studied or not? Exceptions like null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds, string index out of bounds, all of these exceptions are unchecked exception. Whether you write try catch or you do not write try catch, compiler doesn't give a shit about this. But when it comes to checked exceptions like SQL exceptions or file not found exception, these are all checked exceptions. It is compulsory that you need to handle that. Otherwise, compiler will not let you compile your code. So what is that you need to do is, you need to handle this exception, then automatically problem will be solved. But the question is, how do you handle the exception? Try catch. So that is what you need to do. Do you know how to write try catch? Yes. So this is the try catch that you need to write. And what is the exception that you are getting over here? Are you able to see exception? What is the exception? You can clearly see over here, it is giving you SQL exception. As soon as you handle this, the problem is. Is that clear to you? So anyways, I will write all my code inside the try block. So I will come over here. And over here I will say system.out.println connected to database successfully. If that line prints, it means connection has been successful. If that line doesn't print, then all the things that you did from the starting till now in the class is all waste. So let's execute and check. In majority of your cases, it will not work. Warning message, don't get demotivated. But in my cases, it will always work. So you can see. Are you getting the expected output? Yes. So you have successfully created a connection to the database. In case one small spelling mistake you do over here, what I will do is, your URL JDBC classes 1s I will remove. Let's execute. Java SQL syntax error exception, unknown database JDBC classes. So if you read the exception, you will understand what the problem is. So please, since you have already studied exception handling, you know in every exception handling, there are three things that you will get. First thing is name of the exception. Second thing is message of the exception. Then it is stack trace. please make sure you know how to read exceptions. If you know how to read exceptions, half of your problems are solved. Is that clear to you? So this is all about it. So where exactly did the exception arise? You can see in SQL error Java 121, you didn't write that code in that driver class that is available. That went to SQL exception mapping, that went to connection implementation, that went to connection implementation, again it went, all the way at the end. Last it came to which line? This is where it came. So that is your source place where actual problem is happening. If you click here, it says in this line. But actually in this line, because of this URL, where is that URL? That is over here. Is that clear to you? So always I would suggest that do not type these particular URLs, always copy paste, so that you will not do typing mistakes. In my case, I will not do because I know how to type. Many of you don't know how to type, so you will do for sure. So that is the thing. Any doubts still here? No. If you get any doubts, what should you do? Sorry? Recording. Great. Let's assume that you followed the recording, same step-by-step procedure you followed. Still, if it doesn't work, what should you do? Sorry? Huh? YouTube. Yes, that's what you need. If you try something, you get an error, copy that error, paste it inside the Google and say, I am getting this problem, how to fix the problem. Is that clear to you? For example, let's assume that I will execute this. If you can maintain a little bit of silence, it will be great. You can clearly see this is the problem that you are getting. Copy this problem, go to Google, open a new tab. Over here, you copy, put double quotes. Inside double quotes, paste this particular thing. And after that you say, error in JDBC program, enter. Stack Overflow will be the first option that you will get. You can already see unknown database in JDBC. Click on that, read that properly. This is the question someone has put. How do you scroll it? Is scroll. So many people have given different options. But you can see one option in Stack Overflow, there is one green color tick. Are you able to see that? That means that is the correct one, and many people have agreed on this answer. And it worked for many people. So you say, please check my MySQL database whether the database name is this itself. So it's clearly saying problem is with the helper in the database name. So I know in your case it is different. So you should be capable of understanding yours is different, this is different. That common sense, if it is not there, don't attend my classes. So is existed or not? I think you haven't created. Please check it once. If not created, and it's related to tables also. He has told the answer. So please go and fix it. Why am I showing this for you? When you came 2 months before to TAP Academy, we had, from that day we were spoon feeding you everything. But it will stop today. No more spoon feeding from today. Because when you go to the IT industry, if there is any requirement, you will not take your Java notes and you will turn like this. Nobody can sustain in IT industry like this. Then how do I sustain? Very simple. Any requirement, Google, search. If you know how to search, if you know how to find the answer, and if you know how to fix, you have your career. Otherwise, anyone will kick you out. This is what your colleges should have taught you, but it has miserably failed in teaching these things, how to find solutions. So I am teaching you these things, how to find solution by yourself. And I don't want to spoon feed you every day. Any problem comes, you should be capable of identifying the problem and fixing the problem. That's what I am training you over here. So please make sure that you do this regularly. Any problem you get, you have Google, you have YouTube, you have ChatGPT, you have Google Bard, you have Thai. So many options are there. Use any option that you like and find the solution. That's all it is. Still, if you are not able to find, then come to me. But before you come to me, you need to understand every day before I go to sleep, every day night before I go to sleep, you know what is the last thing that I do? Like how you will see Instagram reels or notifications and then you will go to sleep. I will actually open Thai. I will see what all people are asking in Thai. This is what I do every day night. So that I understand whether you are doing or not doing. And I will see their profile as well. How many problems have they solved? How are they asking? This is what I will see. So that in class I can come and give proper inputs. And if they are in the same class, then I can show that and say. So, I see some people asking, do you have girlfriend? Not from your batch. So, how old are you? So, can you talk with me for some time? All these kinds of things. If anyone does like that from your batch, very simple. I will come to class, I will open your profile. Some people will hide. I will open the drives platform. Your picture will be there. I will open that and show, is this person in the class or not? So this is how I will expose you if you start asking questions like that. Is that clear to you? And one more thing. Keep one thing in mind very clearly. Slack messages also can be downloaded and seen by the admin. If you see the message properly and read the instructions properly, it is clearly mentioned as you sign up, admins can read your messages. Some people think that they can text anybody in Slack and say anything in Slack. So if anyone is like that, stop it. Things can get escalated. Is that clear to everyone? Great. Anyways, now I see many are like, oh. Don't worry, I will not read your private chats. I am not interested. But if I sense any problem, I will definitely read it. Or I will ask someone to read it. If I sense any problem. Otherwise, I have no interest in going and seeing 200 people solve messages. But in Thai, I will definitely see because I know everyone will not go and ask in Thai. Only some people, I will see who asks properly, who doesn't ask properly, how you ask, all of those things. But anyways, since you have used Thai for a very long time, do you have any feedbacks? If you have, please let me know. Copy paste not working. That is a feature, not feedback. Sorry? Hint? Hint is not working, that is also a feature. I will say how it is a feature. Some people I see, every time they go hint, 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 5 times code is over. I would have explained some other logic over there, some other logic. So, that's why we have limited int as well. At the same time, there are certain timings for certain users it will not work. So, this is something which will randomly happen. Maybe after some time it will not happen randomly, it will specifically see who is that person only using int, who is that person not using int and all of those things. And accordingly it will work. As of now it's still in the development stage, so as of now it's randomly happening as well. And sometimes due to server issues also it can happen. Sometimes you will get int, your friend will not get int. This can also happen. So, any other feedbacks you have? No. If you feel any new feature can be added, same. Huh? code will be? That is there no already. Or if it is wrong, you need to type from starting. That's what you are saying. Sorry? Oh, it is not auto saving is what you are saying. When does it save then? Oh, only after submitting it saves. Okay. Fine. That auto saving, thank you for the feedback. We will implement that soon. Any other feedbacks? Test cases will not be displayed. Yes. Because if I display to you, you will see that, you will solve it. Then you will show it to 10 other friends. They will directly do it. That's why I am not showing to anyone. As a developer, it is your duty to understand what are the test cases and solve it. It will come, don't worry. As soon as you open the question, timer will start. Why not? We will understand who will take how much time. That is up to you. So, don't worry, the timer will come within 2 weeks, it will be there. Don't worry. Any other updates? That is removed. Remove that feature. You want to copy the code. You just let me know after the class. Fine then. So, as of today, we have just connected to the database. So, tomorrow we will write the first JDBC program. Whole day we will write only one program. But if you miss that one program, let this be like, this is a warning. If you miss that program, you will never understand any other program in JDBC. Put that in your mind very clearly, and we will catch up tomorrow. Have a great evening.